We tend to forget this, but everything is based on vibration or frequency. We've all heard this before, but again, it's very tempting to forget this when you're eating an apple or when you're in an argument with your spouse or when you need to pick your kids up from school and you're half an hour late and there's lots of traffic. It's challenging to remind ourselves, to really see. We can remind ourselves conceptually, but often we don't even do that, right? But it's another thing to really see it as frequency, to really remember that it is a vibrational game that's being played nonstop, moment to moment, breadcrumb by breadcrumb. So I want us to remember right now and feel into the fact that everything is frequency. Literally everything is, even manifestation is vibration. But manifestation has its roots in, let's say, the causal body. It has a causal plane. First, it has a cause. It has a seed. It has an idea. It has a desire. This desire then translates into the subtle body or the subtle realm, and it becomes thought. It becomes inspiration. It becomes guidance. It becomes signals. It becomes synchronicity. It becomes intuition and so forth. And then it transfers further into what we call the physical world, the physical plane. Typically, that's what we call manifestation, but really all of these levels are manifestation. From the absolute's point of view, even awareness is a manifestation. Now, it's not manifest in terms of what we see with our physical senses as physical objects. So we tend to not call it materialization or manifestation, but it is. Awareness is the first manifestation of the absolute reality. And then inside of that awareness, there is the infinite possibility, the infinite range of frequencies and vibrations and unique patterns of vibration and unique compositions and equations of vibration. And that's really what we're dealing with. And what we see as our manifest world is really only the very tip of the iceberg. It's the very end of the line, you could say. It's where the process of becoming finds its end. Where, I should say, every process of becoming, every seed in the causal body that's then turned into inspiration, into movement, and that then becomes physical. When we see it with our physical senses, is the end of the line. It's as far as that manifestation is going to go. Does this make sense? Just nod your head if it makes sense so far. So we're talking about levels of subtlety, but they're all manifestations, starting with awareness. Then the causal body, which has seeds these ideas. They have seeds, ideas, intentions, desires, things you've learned, and so forth. And for most of us, this is very unconscious. Then it transfers into the subtle body, which is typically where it becomes subconscious, or for some of us, it becomes fairly conscious. The more aware we are of our thoughts, of our impressions, of our ideas, of our inspirations, of our feelings, of our emotions, the more you could say we are making the subconscious of the subtle body conscious, just like we're conscious typically. Some people aren't even conscious of that, but of the physical world, right? So it's like that. We're talking about levels of subtlety, but they're all manifestation, and they're all the flow from the creator manifesting itself, expanding into itself, learning about itself, knowing about itself, expressing more of itself, expressing more possibilities to know itself, and on and on and on and on it goes. So it would be kind of dumb to not observe that there is a process of becoming in addition to being. Would you agree? We could ignore that. We could say, okay, it doesn't really exist. And from one point of view, you'd be correct. But from almost every other point of view or level of experience, it would be kind of a denial of what's so obviously happening all the time, which is the process of becoming. So everything is frequency. Your every thought, your every action, your every observation has a vibration to it. And this is subtle. The level of vibration is a subtle level. It's subtler even than your thoughts. Thoughts are still manifestations of your vibrations. And on the level, that's why on the level of thoughts, sometimes it appears like we don't really have free will. Just like we don't really have free will about this pillow over here or this laptop over here. It's already what it appears to be. Thoughts are subtler, but they still have a little bit of that stale quality to them. If you observe your thoughts, you can realize, well, I'm not my thoughts. And it seems sometimes you don't really have any control over what appears in your subtle body, your mental body. However, these are manifestations of your vibration as well. Whatever vibration you are tuned into, if you view yourself as an antenna for a second, your body, your mind as an antenna, like a radio that's tuned into some frequency. And whatever you're tuned into, you are also broadcasting. You're also radiating. There's no way around it. Whatever you're tuned into, whatever you take the shape of, whatever you take the frequency of, whatever you feel, whatever your state of being morphs itself around, whatever frequency it is matching, it is then also sending out a point of radiance, which also operates as a point of attraction. So here's kind of where we start getting into the law of attraction, as Abraham Hicks or Abraham calls it. So the idea being that nothing really is assertion-based, but that everything is attraction-based. This is another way of saying you aren't really a doer, but you are a creator, or you are a radiator, or you are an attractor, or you are a being. But through your beingness, depending on what frequency you take on, your radiance, your point of attraction is going to shift. What you're sending out is going to shift. And based on what you're broadcasting, what you're radiating, your dreamscape, your landscape in consciousness is going to reflect that with the subtle body first, and then later on with the physical bodies. When I say body, I also in this case mean the plane, the physical plane. You could say, okay, you have a subtle body and there's a subtle plane of existence. And there's a physical body, but there's also a physical environment or plane of existence, which you call your world, the world of your senses and so forth. All right, so that's the basic sort of understanding conceptually. Now to get into the more important aspects of this. One thing I want to clarify is desire. Who here has experienced a desire arising and the frequency of that feeling like bliss and feeling like expansion? Raise your hand. Where you have a desire, something happens and it generates a desire. And as soon as you have that desire, it lights you up. It expands you. You feel filled with bliss and with joy. Huh? Have you ever had that? Cool. And who's ever had a desire come up and it comes with contraction and it comes with pain and it comes with craving and it comes with frustration and it comes with perceiving it to not be here? Raise your hand.